Hey everyone, it's Aisha Love, founder of Multidimensional, you who's ready to continue the higher love alchemy magic. I'm sure you can feel it. I've just come off another healing class where, we really energized the physical vehicle and brought ourselves into a state of incredible transmutation of a lot of lower dense everything. And that really is the theme for this part of the human journey, this part of the early days of the healing renaissance that we're in. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's been participating in the Higher Love Alchemy series. That 8-part transmission wrapped on May 26th, and to encourage you to continue to circle back to it. I have one client who was told to do all 8 every day, all the way through June. And I could see the shift in her field already, like the incredible balance. She said she's still yawning through it and, tears coming through. And in fact, the healing work I just did, the same thing was happening. So that just means, think about it maybe like a sump pump. Like we're really getting to, it's like even beyond the basement. When you think about backed up lines and how much water it takes to flush and clear everything through until it runs clear, would be probably a pretty good analogy for what the kind of work that we're involved in at this time. All of us incarnate at this time on planet Earth are definitely transmuting density. So this week's vlog should be fairly short. I want to tell a little bit of a story about what happened after the Higher Love series wrapped, what I noticed. We will be doing an afterglow and integration session for a few weeks here. And if you missed that series, it's a playlist linked below. It's here on the YouTube channel. If you're getting this somewhere else or in an email, just look for the link. Okay, so the main theme for this vlog, is great light draws out great darkness. So here we are in our spiritual gym, waking up every morning in the density, right? Bringing out our higher love to alchemize and transmute. Not in a huge efforting way, more of an allowing way. Standing your ground sort of way with fearful thoughts, negative, intrusive, looping patterns of thoughts. And I have this story from when I went to the grocery store, and I don't think it was the day after we had wrapped the Higher Love Alchemy transmissions. And I found myself kind of slipping a little bit in some old fearful thought patterns. And I thought, whoop, 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 no, what are we doing? And I brought my field back out, right? Yeah, you can feel that, right? And I'm like, yes, I'm the divine fractal of source. I am a sun radiating light and love, right? And power into this domain. And it was fascinating because I hadn't seen this couple anywhere as I was pushing my shopping cart to my car. They weren't anywhere to be seen. And as soon as I did that and all that radiance came out, all of a sudden they were right there, and they're really down and out. And they asked me if I had just even a loaf of bread. And I really took time to stop and turn and face them and connect and share that love. And I gave them some cash so they could go pick out what they wanted at the store. And the radiance that came off of them, especially the woman, she just turned into like a 5-year-old child. I think she was like skipping into the store, and there was so much excitement and love. And so much love came back to me. And it was this beautiful moment of reflection. And what I'm being told now is to please tie this into the unlovable feeling that both of these people had, based in a lot of childhood trauma. I'm a metaphysician, right? I could read the whole thing, could even see certain things that had been done. And so the negative self-image that they were both still actively entertaining had in part created the circumstances that they were living out. Now as souls, of course, we set all this up to come experience this. But so often in this reality, we other people, and we see that scares us, right? The shadow, our own shadow, we don't see it, we judge it, we push it away, even maybe mock it. Maybe you've mocked people who've been down and out. No judgment, just kind of full accounting at this point, right? The corollary is that that couple is a physical representation of our most reclusive shadow parts. And we addressed this on the final and 8th transmission. And many of you had really difficult emotions as a result, because, just like I found, I don't know where they came from. It felt like they popped out of the ether, because they were nowhere in my sight, and then they were there. And that's a lot like what this work is right now, is we bring through this higher love and we're doing this alchemy, expect some really down and out parts to show up. I shared that on the last transmission, right? That I couldn't believe, just out of nowhere, right? Out of nowhere. So you hear the theme here, right? That I heard this voice that said, no one cares about me. And it really set me back. I just thought, whoa, where did that come from? And it set me back because I thought, wow, if that's been like rattling around in there, wow. And I'm pretty dang aware and self-aware, and I'm helping other people with their shadow all the time. Although I guess that's why we call it shadow, right? It's in your blind spot. So the message is that expect these really deep, entrenched, reclusive parts to begin to surface, and it won't be the most comfortable feeling initially, and yet you have the choice point to turn and face them and be with them and be fully present. It's not about getting rid of them, making it all go away. It's actually about allowing the connection and the presence to happen in that field of higher love so that they can come home and they can feel love in a way that they haven't maybe ever in this lifetime. And that's the work before us. So it's kind of like, it's a recap and a summary and a continuing ongoing conversation that we're having about this series that kicked off in the month of May in coordination with some higher ascension mechanics. Ascension flows, I should say. It's also part pep talk. Like, ooh, guys, just heads up. It's going to be a little bit challenging, these parts of us that we had no idea we were sitting on. And remember who you are. You are love. And so all of it can come home now. It's beautiful, right? My personal update, right? What did one of my clients call this vlog once? The Confessions of a Modern Mystic. That's what it reminds me of too. But I share a lot of my own personal story because I know it's helpful. And I know I can throw down the multidimensional jam and do unbelievable, mind-blowing, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel type of work. But it's also really helpful for y'all to know, like, there's human parts of me and my ancestral line that, woo-wee, like, they are just on the roller coaster ride, right? And yet we always have that choice of lemonades from lemons, choosing joy, don't give fear the power, and all of the ups and downs showing me over the last couple months, actually it feels like a couple years now, that I love myself more when I'm a success and I don't love myself when I'm not. That has changed because now it's in my conscious awareness. I've been working with it consciously, but it's not done. I am still working on that, right? Yeah, collectively they're saying, I can feel the whole team saying, collectively you're all working on that. And it is a collective project because, we can have one outlier who creates their own norm, but eventually the social norms have to change by the collective shifting. And like I was joking with another client recently, hey, we're making progress. Like 500 years ago, we're openly torturing people and thinking that's perfectly acceptable. We've moved through all the different movements of this last century, from civil rights movements, women's rights movements, all that good stuff. And now we're moving into this next consciousness revolution that is based in a high degree of self-awareness about shadow, the hierarchy we've been playing in, the wounded motivation, all of that, to understand what has been at, not the heart, more the mind of the human condition. And now we are reclaiming an embodiment that comes from the heart. And, and yes, doing some pretty amazing multidimensional alchemy where we can clear all sorts of stuff through these incredible fields that we are. So I just worked with someone to get help from them. Perfect divine timing as usual. And they're the only person that has validated what I was shown by my own team in 2016. So this gentleman offers people, run things through your heart center to transmute. And he said, your guides showed me, you are a Stargate, so run everything through the gate. And so, yeah, we're doing some really powerful work in this space. And while my particular shadow has had me wanting to be a recluse, full on PTSD, right? warfare, the whole deal. I've had to navigate all of that. I'm really committed to showing up for myself first and foremost, and all those parts that keep surfacing, and for all of us here. So take a moment energetically and meet me. Yeah, there you go. Really meet me. Don't sit back and be like, oh, she's amazing, and whatever you see in me, you should be able to see it in yourself. You wouldn't be attracted or magnetized to this energy if it wasn't in you. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, activation. I can feel all these pings going off. That's beautiful. Yeah, stay there. Super charged up. Yeah. The reason so many of you feel better after listening to me is because that part of you is displacing the more dense, distorted parts. So registration for the next virtual Healing with Higher Harmonics virtual clinic has opened up today. These are really next level multidimensional activations designed, what I'm being told now, specifically for those of you who do grid work, who hold codes for a certain region. Yeah, that's a big one. I'll circle back to that. Who do energy work of any kind. Essentially, this is the next download that's coming in to upgrade the entire system. And so you're functioning as the interface and delivery mechanism. Of course, the benefits to your personal embodiment are all the benefits of all the clairs. Just becoming so much more clear everything. Clairvoyant, claircognizant, especially. Just clear seeing, clear knowing. And then, of course, advancing your craft of why you're here. Working as a metaphysician overtly or covertly, doesn't really matter. And I'm really excited. I'm going to pick up my daughter from Maharishi High School, where she has spent the last year as a boarding student, really enjoying that community. So who knows what sort of field work I'll be doing on the way up or down, but I definitely plan to have just a lot of fun. I'm wishing you all a magical multidimensional day, and I love you so much. Bye for now.